It wasn't hidden from the world. The world was kept away from it. For over 3,000 years, it remained sealed, not forgotten, not lost, contained, until one day someone opened it. There are tombs that are built to honor the dead, and there are tombs that are built to be left alone. This wasn't the first kind. Top 4. In 1922, deep in the Valley of the Kings, a tomb was discovered beneath the Egyptian desert. At first, it didn't seem unusual. Archaeologists had been searching this area for years. Most tombs had already been found, broken into, emptied long ago. But this one was different, because when they reached the entrance, they didn't find damage, they didn't find intrusion. They found something far more unsettling, a door that had never been opened. The man standing there was Howard Carter. After years of failure, he had finally found something no one expected. A sealed tomb, intact, undisturbed. No signs of looting, no broken seals, no forced entry. For over 3,000 years, no one had gone in. No one had taken anything out. And yet, it wasn't empty. Because in ancient Egypt, a sealed tomb wasn't just protection. It was control. Every object had a position, every symbol had a meaning, every seal had a purpose. Nothing inside was random. They made a small opening in the doorway, just enough to see through. Carter leaned forward, holding a candle. The flame flickered, then steadied, and for a moment, he didn't move. Behind him, someone asked, "What do you see?" He paused, then answered, "Yes, wonderful things." But what he saw wasn't just untouched. It was preserved, perfectly. Too perfectly. The air inside the tomb didn't behave normally. It didn't circulate, it didn't shift, it didn't move, because air always moves, even underground, even in sealed spaces. This one didn't, and that shouldn't be possible, unless something is preventing it. The room didn't feel abandoned, it felt held, and that's what made it unsettling. Because this didn't feel like something that had been left behind, it felt like something that had been kept in place. At first, they focused on the discovery, the gold, the artifacts, the history. But something had already changed, and they didn't notice it, not immediately. Because whatever had been inside that tomb was no longer isolated. People began to fall ill, unexpectedly, suddenly. Some died, but not all of them, and no one could explain why. There was no pattern, no logic, no warning, just one detail. No one knew who would be next. One of them, Lord Carnarvon, was healthy. Then suddenly, he wasn't. It didn't behave like a disease. It didn't behave like contamination. It behaved selectively. At first, people called it coincidence. Then they called it a pattern. And eventually, they stopped calling it anything at all. Scientists searched for answers. Ancient bacteria, toxic air, something trapped for thousands of years. And for a moment, those explanations worked, but they didn't hold. Because nothing explained the inconsistency. Nothing explained the randomness. Nothing explained why some were affected and others weren't. And when explanations fail, something else takes their place. Because explanations are only useful when they explain everything. And this didn't. It explained parts, but never the whole. The story changed. It stopped being about discovery and became something else. Because the tomb didn't feel like a structure. It felt like a boundary, something designed to separate, to isolate, to keep something inside and everything else out. For thousands of years, nothing crossed that boundary. Not in, not out. Until the moment it was opened. For over 3,000 years, it stayed closed. Not by accident, not by time, but by design. Nothing escaped, nothing interfered, nothing changed, until one moment when someone decided to open it. There's something people don't like to consider, that maybe nothing happened after it was opened, because for something to change, it has to stop working first. And this didn't. The system didn't collapse. It didn't fail immediately, which means whatever was inside didn't need to escape. The tomb wasn't protecting the king. It was containing something, and now, whatever that design was protecting has failed. And it hasn't been closed since. Because if something had truly escaped, we would have noticed. There would have been signs, a collapse, a failure, a consequence we could point to, but there wasn't. Which leaves something worse, the possibility that nothing ever needed to escape. Because it was never trying to leave. And maybe it never left.